What's going on, team? Proof here, and today I'm coming at you with the stream highlights from the Bushiroad stream that took place not too long ago. As always, if you enjoy this, let me know because I won't always be able to give it to you soon after the stream has happened, and it will happen to come take place later on in the day. But if you don't mind that, just let me know, voice your opinions, and let's go ahead and hop into it. So, as always, I start with the news that happened first, and then I start with the card reveals. So, if you don't want to check out the news, just go ahead and skip to the card reveals when I should put a timestamp down below. So for the news, they went over the Crystal Melody case breakdown. I'm not going to go too much into it, but if you just kind of want to just check it out, make sure to pause the video and then continue on once you're ready to move on with it. And this kind of just comparing some of the high rarity to the base rarity versions of it. So for the LIR for Eve, I believe her name is, you kind of see that you get like a little border around her, like a little golden border to the right side of the card, and it's full art, of course. And then there's the SSR, which has, it looks like to be a signature, which I believe would be either the artist, likely of the artist for it. I didn't get the information directly from the people that put together the information for me, but I would imagine it's the artist's signature on the card. And it's kind of just showing it from the Bushiroad stream for what's her name, Sonata, and then Eve again, I believe. So you kind of check out the little different artworks. It looks really cool. I know it's gonna be super money because you know how Bermuda cards be sometimes. Excuse me. You know how they are. Anything super shiny or with signatures on it usually gets that extra bump on it. So look out for that if you're a fan of Bermudas and want to high rarity out your deck. Be ready to drop that cash. So it was a really short news segment. There was some glitches going on with the stream, so they kind of took longer than expected. But on to the card reveals. First card we have is a promo, and her name is Light Music of Extensive Knowledge, Lanante. And this isn't the fully confirmed version of the name. We'll see what it comes out when it's translated officially or put into English, or when Bushiroad confirms the name themselves. This is the name that I received from one of the translators in my Discord. But the skill says continuous on rear guard. If you have 5 or more rear guards, this unit gets intercept and plus 2,000 power. So basically, it's a grade 1 that can become a grade 2, so to speak, as long as you have a full board. I don't know how useful it's going to be once the set is all fleshed out, but it's a promo card that you might want to put into your deck somewhere. So that's pretty cool. And next up we have Fresh Star Coral, which the rest of the support cards that came out from the stream today were all Coral support, which made me excited because Coral was my favorite amongst the bands that got support in the last wave of G. So like Coral, Riviere, Pacifica, all those. Like Coral was my favorite amongst them, so I'm excited to see it come back in V era. So potentially I'm going to play it in CFA, so definitely look out for that in the future. But since you're not here for that, let's get into the card. She says, auto on Vanguard. When placed, if you have a soul with Coral in its card name, draw a card and put a card from your hand into your soul, which basically alludes to the fact you're going to get grade 0 Coral, the starter for V era. And then that way you can play this card in G era as well, or premium as well, to be able to get the benefit from it. And then auto on rear guard. When placed, soul charge 1. And if you have a Vanguard with Coral in its card name, soul charge 1 again. And this unit gets plus 5,000 power to end of turn. So already you're seeing how Coral might center around gathering power and being able to soul charge a lot, which means that some of the future skills are probably going to be revolved around Soul Blast. But this also helps out in the premium side of things because Coral in premium revolved around trying to get Corals into your soul to be buffed up through Stride Coral grade 3, the Stride bonus, be able to use it that way. So this kind of helps tailor that to your gameplay. And then next up we got the grade 2 Coral, Shiny Star. And then her skill is auto on Vanguard or rear guard. When placed, soul charge 1. And if you have a Coral Vanguard, soul charge another 1. So just like the grade 1, except she works on rear guard as well. And then auto or act on rear guard once per turn. Soul Blast 2. I don't know why I got chopped off that way. It looked kind of funny. Soul Blast 2. And this unit gets plus 10,000 power to the end of turn. And if you have a Vanguard with Coral in its card name, this unit gets plus 5,000 power additional. So if you ride a Coral and then call her out, you can Soul Blast 2, and then it becomes a 25k beater on turn 2, which is very impressive in and of itself. And you know that it gives you a Soul Blast outlet for some of your cards as well, and being able to use it just to get that power and might be able to push your opponent up to higher damage faster for your upcoming endgame card, which is going to be grade 3 Coral, which we have here. Her skill says, continuous on Vanguard, if you Soul Blast a total of 4 or more cards, the original critical of all your units with Coral in their card name become 2. And then act on Vanguard once per turn, counter blast 1, Soul Blast 2, and then return a normal unit each from your rear guard and drop zone to your hand. If you return a card with Coral in its card name, this unit gets plus 15,000 power to the end of turn. So, a lot going on here, but as you can see, just being able to Soul Blast 4, which can be done through her own act skill and through grade 2 Coral, and then there's other means as well. You'll be able to make all your Corals have base critical 2 to be able to act like a force 2 while being able to use force 1, because as one of the Q&A questions that we'll get to, you can't double up force 2 with Coral giving your units base 2 critical power, or base 2 critical, because it's the same as what the force gift does, and they both change the original critical, so you can't stack those up together. So Bushiroad worded it that way as such to not be able to work with force 2. But being able to Soul Blast 4 doesn't seem like it's going to be too difficult, since you already get half the cost through her skill, so you just need to have one other Soul Blast outlet to be able to function with it. And then through her axe skill, you can return normal units back to from your hand or from your field or drop zone, which means if you play normal PGs, you can get those back very easily, which means that riding the 7K PG doesn't become such of a liability, because you can very easily Soul Blast it out and then get it back through Aurora Star here. And then just being able to get that type of advantage lets you reuse things like Lizelette, because this isn't grade 3 Sonata, so you can definitely use Lizelette to your heart's fancy. So you'll be able to reuse Lizelette, reuse Corals for their Soul Blast skills, be able to reuse PGs that you previously used the previous turn, things like that. Just a lot going on in this singular card, while with Corals being able to buff up your entire front row or your back row if you have the grade 1s to be able to function just with high power, just to have both force 1 and force 2 going on at the same time through your skills is very incredible. So very hyped for Aurora Star here. I'm looking forward to testing it out in the future. And then before I wrap up the video, there were some Q&A questions like I alluded to, so we're going to go ahead and hop through those real quick. So the first one, just like I mentioned a second ago, where the critical of your core units after Soul Blasting a total of 4 or more become 2. Oh, sorry, not what I talked about. So yes, it becomes 2 as long as Soul Blast 4 or more. The effect of your units with core will become 2, and we'll continue on. And then for the next question, if the continuous ability of Aurora Star Coral is active, will the critical of a Coral on Circle with Force 2 become 3? Like I talked about a second ago, no it doesn't, because they both change the original critical to 2, so it doesn't stack up that way. And then the last question was, if you use the ability of Coral to return a Coral from your rear guard, and then a card that isn't Coral from your drop zone to your hand, does it get plus 15,000 power? Yes, it does, as long as you return a Coral from your from either zone, it gets plus 15,000 power. That'll do it for the quick Bushiroad stream. Not a lot going on this week, but a lot of cards came out. So if you're a Coral fan like myself, I hope you're excited for what came out. Yeah, very quick, very easy, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you enjoyed these little quick Bushiroad recaps, Bushiroad stream recaps. I'll definitely look out doing them more in the future. So yeah, that'll do it for me, and until the next one, peace, be easy.